Hey everyone, today July 11th is All American Pet Photo Day, which means grab your pet, Larry.
Mosh.
Hey Mosh, take a picture and share it.
And we got a bunch of great photos from you, like Tito and Billy. But before we get to even more, do you know which dog breed is the most popular in the US? Do you know?
Is it you, Mosh?
If you sit and you wait, we'll tell you later in the show.
3, 2, 1, ignition, engine full power, and liftoff.
That's a rocket launching a new weather satellite into orbit last month. It's the fourth and final satellite in a series that NASA put into space for the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, aka NOAA. Its nickname GOES, which stands for Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite. And NASA says it's more powerful than anything that's been up there before. Forecasters will be able to keep a closer eye on storms and solar activities like auroras. It can even collect climate data about what's going on in the Earth's oceans and zoom in on all the places where there's a risk of wildfires or fog. NOAA says it's, quote, the Western Hemisphere's most sophisticated weather observing and environmental monitoring system. Since it will improve how weather is detected, it will allow for earlier warnings and watches to be issued. It will observe most of North America, as well as Central and South America, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic Ocean to the west coast of Africa. The new technology will come in handy because NOAA expects this year's hurricane season to be one of the worst in decades.
In 2 weeks, the Summer Olympics will kick off in Paris, France with what's known as the opening ceremony. It's when athletes from all over the world are introduced and the host city puts on a show. This year, it will happen on the Seine, the river that runs right through the city. It's the first time the opening ceremony isn't happening in a stadium. More than 10,000 athletes from over 200 countries will be sailing along boats on the river.
All of the Olympians live in the Olympic Village, which is like a mini college campus built just for the games. Team USA is expected to have more than 800 athletes competing at the Olympics and Paralympics. The Paralympics are for athletes with a range of disabilities and will take place at the end of August. We should talk about the sports, right?
Of course. Breakdancing is making its Olympic debut. Sport climbing, surfing, and my favorite, skateboarding, were added in the last few years. And we gotta talk about basketball. The US women's team is going for their 8th consecutive gold medal, but there's been a lot of talk about the women's squad because WNBA star Caitlin Clark was not invited to be on the team. And the men's team, which includes LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and my man Joel Embiid, is taking their shot at their 5th gold medal. Let's go.
For gymnastics, all eyes will be on Simone Biles. The 4-time gold medalist dropped out of her last Olympics in 2020 because of stress, which gave her something called the twisties. That's when a gymnast gets disoriented in the air, and it can be pretty dangerous. She took some time off, started training again, and announced last year that she'd aim for the Paris Olympics. And guess what? She made it. In fact, she's the top gymnast on the US team.
Now, on to swimming. 7-time gold medalist Katie Ledecky made her Olympic debut in London when she was just 15 years old, but now she's 27 and heading to her 4th Olympics and hoping for some more gold medals.
On the track, my favorite, you'll hear about Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson, who are considered the fastest in the world right now because of their times in the 100-meter race. At Olympic trials, Richardson ran it in 10.71 seconds, and Lyles ran a 9.83. And make sure you remember this name, Quincy Wilson. He's a 16-year-old from Maryland who's making history as the youngest male to ever be on the USA Olympic track team. All the competition kicks off on July 26th. Which sports are you excited to watch?
Imagine seeing this. This mama bear, Maddie, and her cub love beating the heat in this California pool. Ricky Martinez and Brian Gordon moved to their home in 2020, and the bears were some of the first neighbors to welcome them.
So we got the house in November. The day after Thanksgiving was the first time we saw the bears, and we're like, what? We were just like astonished by what we were seeing.
Ricky and Brian's home sits right on the edge of Angeles National Forest, so it's pretty common for bears to pass through their neighborhood. They make sure to keep a safe distance. But what should you do if you ever see a bear in real life? We asked Katmai National Park Ranger Susan Contreras, who showed us how to stay bear aware out there.
Bears are shy creatures. They're wild. The last thing they want to do is interact with us. So the way that we help them is we let them know that we human beings are present. And the way to do that is to make a noise. Sing when you're walking down that trail. Talk, have conversations, clap your hands, shuffle your feet on the gravel as you walk on that trail. And that way you can avoid any kind of encounter. Travel as much as you can with a group of people. Typically, 3 or more is the ideal scenario. If you're on a trail and a bear begins to approach you, first thing you want to do is stop, stay still. Start talking to the bear in a calm, confident, gentle voice. I'm so sorry to invade your territory, but I'll tell you what. You go your way and I'll go mine. The other thing you can do is raise your hands above your head and wave them gently. Don't wave them frantically, just a gentle wave. This makes you look bigger. The calm voice lets the bear know that you are not a threat. If you allow that bear that space by staying still, then that bear can go his or her own way, and you'll just both continue to have a wonderful day in wilderness.
Are you ready for more cute pets? What kind of question is that?
A silly one.
We told you it's All-American Pet Photo Day. So make sure you're taking lots of pictures with your pet, but we have a bunch of great shots from all of you.
And all of this got us thinking, which dog breed is the most popular in the US?
Is it the Dachshund?
Unfortunately, no. I know, it's the French Bulldog. According to the American Kennel Club, the Frenchie took the top spot in 2022, knocking the Labrador down the list after a 3-decade reign. Want to see some cute French Bulldogs? Check out Miles and Jerry.
And we're not stopping there. We've got Bear, we've got Moose, here's Cooper. Take a look at Remy.
Bowie, Georgie, Billy.
There's Violet, here's some Nathan. And don't forget about Radley Olive.
We've got cats too. Chewy and Tito and Humphrey. So many cute pets. Thank you for sending us those photos.
In July 1937, Amelia Earhart was trying to become the first woman to fly around the world when her plane went missing over the Pacific Ocean. What happened next is a complete mystery.
Neither Earhart, her navigator Fred Noonan, who was on board with her, or the plane were ever found. Until now. Well, maybe.
An exploration company called Deep Sea Vision says they found what they think is the wreckage of Earhart's famous plane, more than 15,000 feet underwater, about halfway between Hawaii and Australia.
The team used sonar imaging to search underwater, which means they used sound waves to map the ocean floor with something that looks like a huge underwater drone. Deep Sea Vision was searching for the wreckage when they say they spotted something that looked like the shape and size of Earhart's plane. And because of where it was found, about 100 miles away from where Earhart was supposed to land, there's a chance it could be the missing plane. If it actually is her plane, it would be a huge discovery and missing piece of history.
Earhart was a trailblazer in aviation, especially for women. Her most famous flight happened in 1932 when she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. She took off in Canada and 15 hours later, landed in Northern Ireland. She's also the first person to ever fly solo across both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
All right, so what happens now?
We get our scuba gear! Just kidding.
Well, Deep Sea Vision told us they are hoping to go back to the site next year to get closer to the potential wreckage. If they do find something that resembles a plane, they'll bring it up to the surface to inspect it. In 2023, a museum all about Earhart and the record she broke opened in her hometown of Atchison, Kansas. Have a great rest of the weekend, and don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. And we'll see you next time right here on First Stop News.
It didn't make sense the way it was written. We didn't catch that earlier.